As you've noticed, a lot of my videos, or maybe you haven't noticed because I'm brand new to this whole thing, but anyway, what you may have noticed is that a lot of my videos tend to be more like mud runs and stuff like that, but what you don't understand is that this guy likes to talk, like a lot. I'm a bit of a talker. I go on rants. I say stuff about everything. Politics, movies, video games. I'm a huge nerd. Yes, I do comic books, even though I am one good-looking dude with the red hair. Just saying. Anyway, so last night we were watching The Walking Dead, and out of nowhere my wife brings up Glenn, even though he was in like 3 seconds of the show. And anytime I see Glenn, I kind of get this little like of like, Walking Dead, you did us wrong, man. Glenn should have died, and I still feel that way today. So anytime that I see Glenn on The Walking Dead, I tend to get a little pissed off. I'm gonna throw it out there, because okay, we all know how it happened, and hopefully there aren't any kind of like spoilers now, because everybody should know. Obviously, Glenn survives, and anybody who's looking up at Walking Dead probably has some inkling of an understanding, because this was a couple of months ago. What really upsets me, though, is that they have changed the way that they do their writing. The Walking Dead used to be really smart in the way that they did stuff. They used to be, for lack of a better word, edgy, to kill off the characters that really mean something. Now, one of my favorite characters was Dale from season 2. And one of the biggest punches in the gut for me in that show was when he gives his big moral speech about how, you know, we need to keep our humanity and be good and all this and that and the other thing. And then as soon as he walks out, he gets ripped apart by a walker who in turn wasn't killed when it should have been killed. So that kind of set a precedent. Anytime there's a good like moral character, they tend to bite the dust. And it gives impact to the show. It means that you can't necessarily be this good sounding board, this moral source in The Walking Dead, because those people tend to be, cannon fodder. So anyway, so what I'm getting at is one of the reasons that Glenn not dying pisses me off isn't necessarily that I think Glenn needed to be killed off on the show for, shock purposes or anything like that, but they were setting up this amazing story arc of how he was rehabbing this total douche who could eventually become this great part of society. And then you saw this building up of this guy to, I don't even remember his name, but this guy to this place where he was starting to become an acceptable person of the post-apocalyptic society. He was helping out. He wasn't a total douche. He would have psychotic breakdowns every now and again, but they weren't anything that was super, super detrimental to the group. Until we get to the scene where Glenn and the dude, I don't remember his name, is on top of the garbage can. And then you see, him kind of have this psychotic break and obviously blows his brains out and falls on Glenn. What a poetic way to kill off one of our beloved characters, Glenn, for those who like him. I've actually never really been a huge fan of Glenn, but anyway. And so the symbolic measures were there. I mean, Glenn, this guy, this character who really had a good, strong moral compass. I don't think he ever killed a human being in his run in The Walking Dead. And so you have this good, strong moral character, had done everything he needed to do to get up to the point where he was kind of, in my opinion, the new moral compass of the group, per se. Not quite a Herschel or a Dale, but still pretty strong in his beliefs. And what a great way for them to send him off in a kind of ironic way of the people that you help most can be the ones that betray you. The hardest emotion is when you invest into people and they in turn their back on you, and that ultimately leads to Glenn's demise. And then they screwed it up. He crawls under the trash can. He makes it out. Everything's fine. Roses are around. So The Walking Dead has really kind of, I'm a I'm a little turned off with The Walking Dead right now, to tell you the truth. I mean, they got to kind of get their crap together. There used to be a time where anybody was expendable. You could do whatever you wanted to do in The Walking Dead, and people would be upset about it, like Beth and all that, but you get over it. But they can't seem to get rid of their people. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. My opinion tends to be a little unpopular in terms of Glenn. Everybody's super jazzed that he's still alive. I, on the other hand, think that the story needed another emotional gut punch that had people talking. And sure, he was on social media and all that kind of stuff, and everybody's like, is he really dead? But it was just this really crappy media blitz to get us all talking about it, as I'm doing right now. So I don't know. I'd like to know. I'd like to know what everybody thinks. Go in the comments down below. Let me know. Do you think Glenn was supposed to be around? Do you think Glenn was supposed to die? How do you feel about Glenn now? Every time you look at him, do you think you want to smack that stupid little mustache off his face because he should have died? I'm just saying. Anyway, let me know.
And thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe.